good, Eagles fans? Y'all are tuned into another dose of Chalk It Up, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. So today is November 10th. The Philadelphia Eagles are coming up on their game against the New York Giants. And honestly, we need that win. We need that win. We need a lot of things to go our way. We need our coaches to coach better. We need our players to play better. That's just keeping it short. But this video, most importantly, it's really about one person, Carson Wentz. And it gets a little bit more detailed in terms of someone was talking about Carson Wentz today. That someone is someone Carson Wentz looked up to. That person is someone Carson Wentz idolized growing up. That person is kind of someone who Wentz modeled his game after. And that person essentially really just didn't really do him any favors and kind of threw him under the bus. And that person is none other than the Hall of Famer Brett Favre. Now, we all know Brett Favre's resume. We all know he is the prototypical gunslinger. We all know he's known for mad touchdowns, but madder interceptions. You know what I'm saying? We all know Brett Favre's capabilities. We all know what he did in the past. We all know he's a Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. We all know that. But in the same breath, we also know that Brett Favre wasn't really the cleanest quarterback, as a matter of fact. He was he was a huge risk taker. He was a huge risk taker, right? And Wentz is a similar beast. Huge risk taker, leaves it all out on the field, a fun guy to play with, a real big nature guy. So when you see someone like a Brett Favre say what they said about Carson Wentz, it kind of breaks your heart a little bit. Brett Favre was on First Take today with Stephen A. Smith, Molly Qerim, and Max Kellerman, that guy. And he honestly has some things to say about Wentz. And they asked Wentz pretty much they asked Favre some straightforward questions as it pertains to Wentz and how he feels about if he's a franchise quarterback and, what he's capable of doing with the pieces around him and if he can stay healthy. So bottom line is, Favre had a lot to say. And I'm just going to play it for you guys because it's much easier. It's much easier that way. And I'd much rather just let y'all hear it, let y'all be the judge. So you telling me this is Stephen A. Talking to him. Let's hear it.
A franchise quarterback, but Brett Favre, I'll defer to you with this question. What do you think the reason for it is? I mean, I understand the durability questions have always been there, but the precipitous drop-off that we've witnessed over the last season and a half to 2 seasons from this guy, do you put it on him? Is it on Coach Doug Peterson? What is it? What do you think it is?
I think he's very capable. I think we all are in agreement that he has the tools. I'm gonna err on the side of lack of consistency. Who are you throwing to? More than anything, they've had to mix and mingle players in and out. Now, that being said, other quarterbacks have managed to handle that very well. So I get the other side of the argument.
I want to stop there. No quarterback in the NFL has dealt with what Carson Wentz has dealt with for his career. Now, from 2018 to now, it's been a revolving door. It's been a revolving door when it comes to Wentz. It's mainly last year and this year. It's been a revolving door in terms of people he's been dealing with. And I don't know any quarterback in the NFL that is dealing with what Wentz is dealing with right now or has dealt with it in the last 2 years. I can't think of any quarterback who would still be producing the way they're producing with the revolving door of players surrounding them like Wentz has. But I'll let him continue.
You got to make it work. I actually thought that they should have kept Nick Foles rather than Carson Wentz, just based off of production and where they got to.
All right, let's stop there. Sorry, you guys. Okay, first things first. You are about 2 years too late about the whole Wentz and Foles argument. That ship has sailed. We've seen what Foles was able to do in Jacksonville. We've seen what he's been doing in Chicago. And honestly, he hasn't really shown to be so prolific. He hasn't shown to be a dynamo, in my opinion. He hasn't shown that. He hasn't shown it. So at that point, if we know that, Why are we still talking about Foles? I don't understand your angle in bringing this up, Brett. I don't understand. You're talking about honestly keeping Mick Foles over Wentz. We all know from a pure talent perspective, it was no comparison. We all know Foles got plugged into a perfect situation. And listen, we all understand that Foles plays good in the green jersey. We get that part, right? But at the end of the day, Foles is who he is. He's not really a starting guy, and he's shown that he's not really a starting level quarterback. He's just not. Again, I will never take nothing away from Foles. He finished the job in Philadelphia with that Super Bowl, but I feel like people keep forgetting the fact that without Wentz throwing the alley-oop with that 11-2 record, Foles cannot do what he did. Let's be honest. We went into the playoffs as a 13-3 team. 13-3. That means since Wentz went down, Foles was only able to go 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. Beat the Raiders barely. Beat the Giants barely. Lost to the Cowboys in the final game. I don't really count that. But you bottom line, you held it together to get the W's, right? So a win is a win. But let's let Favre keep going.
You know, they won a Super Bowl with Foles. And that was a little bit surprising. But they're obviously banking on his upside. You know, how many more years do you let it linger before you stick with him or you cut bait? That's a question they only can answer. But I know Doug, of course, we were together for a long time. He's a very simple coach. He's going to put you in the best possible opportunity to succeed. He's not going to complicate things. So I know it's not Doug.
Who asked you if it was Doug? Nobody asked you that. See, this is what happens when guys talk too much on the bye week. This is what happens when guys have too much time on their hands. Doug Peterson. All the breadcrumbs starting to lead back to you, my friend. Let's be totally honest and break it down for a second. He talks about how Doug is a very simple coach and he knows it's not Doug and Doug is capable of keeping it very simple. Have you played under Doug Peterson as a player and he's been your coach? As far as I know, he backed you up. He wasn't coaching you. So how do you know what plays he's calling or what his schemes are or concepts are? How do you know how simple of a coach he is unless he told you himself? Unless he told you himself how simple the concepts are, and he told you himself that Wentz just isn't getting it. So I feel like all these things that Favre is saying, he will not say it unless he had a conversation with someone. All the breadcrumbs are starting to lead back, and Doug cannot avoid this. Doug cannot avoid this. You have to address this. This is your guy. This is one of your good friends, Brett Favre. You can't avoid this. You really can't. You really can't. When you have a guy talking about your quarterback, saying the specific things he's saying, those aren't just random things to say. The Foles comment. Okay, scratch my head on that one. Okay, whatever. Then I know it's not Doug. Okay, who asked you if it was Doug? We're just asking about Wentz. Nobody mentioned Doug Peterson's name at all. You could have kept it real simple, but this is what happens when you put your foot in your mouth. Continue.
So I'm going to write it off as too many injuries right now. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Benefit of the doubt. Well, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. If I'm being honest with you, Wentz has not been playing too good this year. He hasn't played well. He hasn't put himself nor his team in the best positions. That's the reality. He hasn't, but neither has coaching. Neither has coaching. So if we know that, why are we... See, there's this witch hunt for Carson Wentz. There's always been a witch hunt for Carson Wentz, and I don't know why. I'm not making any excuses for his play this year. I'm not making any excuses. We go as far as he takes us. But my thing is, it seems like there's an undying witch hunt. I just saw Russell Wilson throw in 2 weeks in a row, like 2 picks back to back in like 2 weeks in a row. He threw 2 picks. I think he threw like 3 picks when he was playing Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. And then just this past week, he threw like 2 picks. So against the Bills. So it's like, it seems like when it's Wentz, the microscope is huge and everyone's just going so hard at the guy. I get it. He's having a down year. I get it. He's not playing well. But we all know from the years past, he doesn't turn the ball over like this. Maybe the fumbles, but the interceptions, he's never been this inaccurate. And we know that. We know that. So, Doug Peterson, you have some questions to answer in your press conference leading up to this game. I'm pretty sure this is not what you was looking forward to, but hey, this is what happens when you chill with guys on a bye week, man. And again, we don't know. We don't know if Doug Peterson said this stuff to him. This is all conjecture. This is all theory. Who knows if Doug Peterson said something to him? But if he did, if Doug and Brett was just shooting the shit, drinking some beers, relaxing, and then they just start talking about football, who knows? Who knows how it came up, right? But the bottom line is, Favre went on national television, said what he said about Wentz. And it's not a good look. It's not a good look, especially knowing that him and Doug Peterson are very good friends. How would he know anything about how Doug coaches? How would he know anything unless Doug told him himself? One can only discern their own thoughts. One can only form their own opinions, theories, or hypotheses. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II. You guys were tuned into another dose of Chalk It Up, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just gotta charge it to the game. One love, y'all. Fly Eagles fly.